In this video, I will describe each step of the mechanism of glutamine synthetase. After describing each step, I will tell a story corresponding to the step. First, as a short introduction, this is what glutamine synthetase looks like. I have included an attribution below, which I will do for all illustrations I did not draw myself. All references will be included at the end of the video as well. Here's the active site of glutamine synthetase, where the mechanism I will be describing takes place. This is the general function of glutamine synthetase. It catalyzes a reaction to synthesize glutamine from glutamate. It is ATP dependent. I will be describing the mechanism by which this reaction occurs. The mechanism of glutamine synthetase. Introduction. In the active site of glutamine synthetase, there are 3 magnesium ions, which are cofactors that bind ATP, which is a co-substrate, to the active site in a position convenient for the reaction to take place. There are 2 substrates, an ammonium ion and glutamate. The kingdoms of synthetasia. Introduction. Once upon a time, there was a small and independent wheat farming village called Amondor Village in the land of Synthetase. Although it was small, it had 4 flour mills to make plenty of bread for its people. As the years passed, the people of Amondor Village began to fear for their freedom. A terrible empire called the Glutamine Synthetasian Empire threatened to consume all in its path. The empire claimed all the land in Synthetasia until only the Glutamating Kingdom and Amondor Village remained independent. To get protection from the empire, Amondor Village wanted to become a part of the only free kingdom left, Glutamating Kingdom. To join Glutamating Kingdom, Amondor Village would have to build a bridge across the sea, but Amondor Village had no stone to build a bridge. The mechanism of glutamine synthetase, step 1. First, one of the amino acids in the active site, specifically aspartic acid 54F, deprotonates NH4+. When this occurs, the electrons that once formed the bond between the nitrogen and the hydrogen become a lone pair on the nitrogen. The lone pair on this prepared ammonia will be used in future steps to form a bond between the 2 substrates to create the product. The Kingdoms of Synthetasia, Chapter 1. We could dismantle one of our roads to one of our flour mills and use the stone to build a bridge, the people said. Unfortunately, Amondor Village did not have enough people to dismantle the road, so they turned to Aspartia Kingdom for aid. Aspartia Kingdom had been exploited by the Empire and did not want to wish the same fate upon its neighbor. We will help you dismantle your road to your flour mill so you may have the stone to build a bridge to Glutamating Kingdom and find protection from the Empire. But we require something in return, declared the people of Aspartia. Amondor Village offered one of its flour mills. Aspartia Kingdom accepted this proposal, and so Aspartia Kingdom helped Amondor Village dismantle one of its roads to one of its flour mills, then took the flour mill for itself. Now that Amondor Village had enough stone to build a bridge to Glutamating Kingdom, it only needed one more thing, a way to convince Glutamating Kingdom that joining together would be mutually beneficial. Glutamating Kingdom would provide Amondor Village with protection from the Empire, but what could Amondor Village offer in return? The mechanism of glutamine synthetase, step 2. In the second step of the mechanism, a negatively charged oxygen on the glutamate nucleophilically attacks the phosphorus on the terminal phosphate group. 2 electrons from the oxygen form a bond to phosphorus, resulting in phosphorus breaking the bond between itself and the oxygen that connects to the rest of the ATP molecule. This converts ATP to ADP. Now the substrate glutamate has a phosphate group attached. The phosphate group is still bound to the active site by 2 magnesium ions. Therefore, the substrate glutamate is bound to the active site. Since phosphate groups have resonance structures and are good leaving groups, the phosphate group makes the substrate glutamate more electrophilic or electron-loving. Thus, the phosphate group makes the substrate glutamate susceptible to nucleophilic attack. The kingdoms of Synthetasia, Chapter 2. Meanwhile, across Synthetasia in a faraway land, the empire had the kingdom of Adenospha surrounded on all sides and hoped to claim the land and exploit it for its resources. To retain its independence, the kingdom forced one of its villages, Phosphor Village, to appease the empire by sending food via trade routes through the Magnesium archipelago. Because of this, the people of Phosphor Village starved and grew to resent not only the empire but the kingdom of Adenospha. It wished to gain independence, but it was reliant on the pitiful trade routes with the empire for what little food it received from the Glutamine farmlands. To become independent, Phosphor Village needed help. Glutamating Kingdom rushed to the rescue, building a bridge to the starving village so it could send aid. The aid was enough for Phosphor Village to cut ties with the kingdom of Adenospha. But not enough for it to stop trading with the empire. Glutamating Kingdom quickly recognized its mistake. By building a bridge to Phosphor Village, it had given the empire a direct route to invade. The mechanism of glutamine synthetase, Step 3. In the third step, the monomer made in the first step is put to use. The ammonia nucleophilically attacks the delta-positive carbon on the intermediate that is susceptible to attack. As a result, the leaving group, phosphate, leaves. The result is glutamine with an extra hydrogen attached. The phosphate group is still bound to the active site by 2 magnesium ions. The kingdoms of Synthetasia, Chapter 3. Seeing an opportunity, Amador Village sent Glutamating Kingdom a letter with a proposal. Let us join together as one, so I may be protected from the empire. In return, you may give one of my flour mills to Phosphor Village so that its people no longer require your aid. Then you will be able to dismantle the route to Phosphor Village before the empire can use it to invade your land. Glutamating Kingdom accepted this proposal. It sent a letter to Phosphor Village, and the people found this arrangement to be acceptable. We will leave your kingdom as long as you give us what has been promised. And so, Amador Village built a bridge to Glutamating Kingdom using the stone it had collected from dismantling one of its roads in Chapter 1. Glutamating Kingdom dismantled the bridge it had made to Phosphor Village. The mechanism of glutamine synthetase, Step 4. In the fourth and final step, the product glutamine is deprotonated by the phosphate group. The kingdoms of Synthetasia, Chapter 4. The Phosphor Village returned to Glutamating Kingdom and demanded what it was owed, and the people worked together to dismantle the road to one of the flour mills. Now, the starving people of Phosphor Village would be fed. Phosphor Village left in peace. Now able to provide foods for itself, Phosphor Village no longer needed to accept unfair trade with the empire, so it cut ties with the empire and became completely independent. The mechanism of glutamine synthetase, products. The final products of the reaction are glutamine, hydrogen phosphate group, and ADP. Keep in mind that the enzyme will return to its original state by releasing the proton it had picked up in step 1. The kingdoms of Synthetasia, conclusion. Amador Village was now a part of Glutamating Kingdom, so the kingdom changed its name to Glutaminar Kingdom. The empire released its crushing grip on the kingdom of Adenospha and Phosphor Village. Free of the empire, the people of Glutaminar, Adenospha, and Phosphor lived happily ever after. Here are my references. I hope you enjoyed this video.